morning, dear students. Welcome back to our next session of Standard 10, subject Social Science, and today we are going to cover chapter number 2, Cultural Heritage of India, Traditional Handicrafts and Fine Arts. As per Gujarat Board Blueprint, the chapter carries the 3 marks weightage. So let's start the chapter. Traditional Handicrafts and Fine Arts. Students, this chapter carries 3 marks weightage as per Gujarat Board Blueprint. Students, in this chapter you are going to learn about the traditional handicrafts and fine arts of our country India. So let's start our chapter with the introduction. India is a rich country of rich cultural heritage. It includes materialistic and genetical heritage. Now students, if we understand the genetic and materialistic inheritance, so genetic inheritance means that a child inherits physical and mental characteristics from parents by birth is known as genetic inheritance. For example, we compare the child with the parents or mother's look also, yes, by the skin complexion also, hereditary we say. So, any inherent physical or mental characteristic which a child gets by birth from the parents or from the grandparents and ancestors, they are known as genetic inheritance. If we consider about material heritage, so whereas house and land, estate like properties obtained from ancestor is called material heritage. So whatever things, tangible things which we get from our parents or from our forefather or ancestors like house, land, estate, yes, these properties which we obtain from our ancestors are known as material heritage. Similarly, cultural heritage. So, whatever man obtains or creates with his intellect and skill is generally called cultural heritage. So, here students, we will follow that genetic heritage, materialistic heritage and cultural heritage. So, things which a man has obtained from his intelligence, skill and talent is generally called the cultural heritage. Means the cultural heritage we can say man-made also. Man has for example created from clay utensils, toys and many things. So that is the man's intelligence and skill to generate from clay utensils and other things. In the same manner, traditions, customs, rituals, special type of lifestyles adopted by our ancestor is known as cultural heritage. So in the same manner, students, we are following our religions, customs, traditions, rituals, yes. So this we have got from our ancestors. We are following what our parents and are doing, and our parents were following our grandparents, and like this, that way generation to generations the traditions and customs are followed by the people according to their religion and their traditions. So things like education, farming, trade, rules and regulations, festivals, entertainment, art and handicraft, beliefs, skills. So these are the examples that we follow these things, yes, as per our religion, as per our norms and rules and regulations, festivals, all these things are followed by us, even the beliefs also, that when we see our parents doing something, some customs or rituals, we also adopt it when we grow up, yes, when we start understanding the importance of these all things, then we also start following these things. India, being an ancient country of the world, has its best traditions, social values, dogma, customs, and family systems. So, as our country is considered to be the very ancient country, and we have perhaps said that Indus Valley civilization, Mohenjo-daro, Harappa civilization, these are the oldest civilization found in our country. So we can say that our country is having the best tradition, social values, dogma, custom and family system. So you can see here in the screen itself also that a woman is worshipping the plants. Yes, generally we see that we worship morning time Tulsi plant. Yes, we considered it as a Tulsi Mata also. So different things are done by us in a very best way to preserve also our culture. So it is our duty to preserve our cultural heritage. Yes, surely students. So the things which you learn from your family, from your parents, from your grandparents, your ancestors, these things you have to preserve and you have to pass on to the next generation in order to maintain our cultural heritage. 64 arts in our ancient literature. Yes, there are 64 arts in our ancient literature like handicraft, workmanship, kasab, drawing, music, dramatic art, dance, etc. Our ancient currencies were also available. Prosperity of India was main attraction for visitor to attack India. Students, in our social science we have most probably we have heard that many foreigners have attacked the India, and the main attraction for them was the prosperity of our country. Today the education of yoga has been considered as a part of cultural heritage which has been accepted by the whole world. Yes students, we all know that we also celebrate the yoga day. In the beginning of your school only you used to celebrate. Right now because of our pandemic situation we are not able to, but still we have celebrated at our home. Yes, so today also education of yoga is considered as a part of our cultural heritage and which has been accepted by the whole world. So International Day of Yoga we celebrate on 21st June, World Yoga Day. So coming to our next topic, art of Indian artisan. The beauty of India cultural heritage is lying in traditional art of its artisans. Artisans are the people who have the skill, talent through which they do the work, and the work is also very much appreciated by peoples. They have skillfully developed varied lifestyle of people through their remarkable art and handicraft industries. Students, in Gujarat and as we are in Kutch region, we are very much known and familiar to the traditional handicrafts and all this skill of our peoples. So these skills are developed, and in the lifestyle of the people also it is included, and it is a remarkable art and even the handicraft industries are also growing up very well. Weaving and embroidery, wooden art, clay work, metal work, painting, leather industry, animal work, architecture, akik and diamond work, sculpture, knitting work have their unique identity in India. Now very first we will discuss about the art clay work. You can see our students on the screen that man and clay have been closely associated since ancient time. Yes, as we can know that as soon as the people have started living the steady life, from a primitive life to a steady life, people have stayed at one place, and day by day, slowly they have started using the natural elements also. In that, they have started using the soil and the clay. So they have started making the things which can be made by clay. You can see here that a man here, you can see, is making the toys also, yes, for the children. Even the earthen stoves and utensils are also made from the clay. So there is a close relations between the man and the clay since ancient time. The whole life of man revolves around it from a cradle to grave. This is a very true fact that from the birth till the end of the life, yes, till the cradle to the grave, we are very much closely related, or you can say our life revolves around the clay. Before the invention of metal, clay things were used abundantly. Means before the age of metal age, clay was things made from the clay were used very much by the people, like toys, pots, picture, earthen lamps, clay stove. So clay vases were made by the potters to store grain, milk, ghee, curd and buttermilk. So today also, students, these things are available in the especially in the Patanjali. If you go, this utensils made from the clay are available, and it is said that the things which are cooked in the clay utensils, yes, the food will not lose its nutritious value, and it will also not get spoil also for a long time. So previously, in the starting ancient time, people used to store the grains also, keep the milk, ghee, curd, buttermilk, etc., everything in the things made of the clay utensils. Maximum kitchenwares were made up of clay. The walls of the house, kubas, were plastered by paste of cow dung and clay. So, by mixing the cow dung and the clay, this paste was plastered on the walls of the houses. It used to believe that the clay and the cow dung used to keep the bacteria away from the house, and it will be safe for the people to live in it. So this is how the people used to take care of their health also, by doing the natural things. We have got many clay utensils of red color that belongs to Lothal, Mohenjo-daro and Harappan culture of ancient time. Potter's wheel is considered to be the best device for clay work in ancient India. In present time also, we can see Garba, means picture having holes containing earthen lamp inside, in Navratri. Yes, so during the Navratri of 9 days of worshipping the Ma goddesses, yes, so we keep a Garba, yes, and for 9 days we keep that near our temple, and during the Navratri time these things are, customs are followed. India was famous for producing the baked utensils of baked clay as well as unbaked clay, that is terracotta. This is known by seeing remains of old and handmade clay utensils found from Nagarjun Konda in south of India and Langnaj from Mehsana district. So students, previously also things were made from the baked utensils, baked clay, yes, and unbaked one also. Baked here means the utensils are being kept in the fire, and terracotta also is used very much from ancient time. So how we have came to know these things, that these things were used in the ancient time also by the remains, yes, by the things which were remained there. So in South India and Gujarat, the remains of these utensils are found. Now the second topic we are going to cover is the art of weaving. The art of making long thread using small pieces of cotton from cotton balls and joining them together is called the art of spinning. Yes, so it can be asked that in the definition also, what is spinning, explain it. So this is an art that we have to make first long threads, yes, from the small cotton plants or balls, and then we have to join together, and that art is called spinning. Today also many people are engaged in this work. We all know that Gandhiji has given it a special importance as a cottage industries and joined it with Swadeshi to make us self-reliant under the banner of freedom movement, which has created a new history. Next is the hand weaving. Since ancient time, India is known for its textile. It is well known that the whole piece of cloth of a particular size, yes, which we in Gujarati know taka also, of fine muslin of Dhaka could easily pass through a ring and could be adjusted in the matchbox also. So students, in ancient time, when the trader used to come from the foreign in India, so muslin cloth was very much demand in the foreign countries, and people used to specially traders used to come specially for this thing. The muslin cloth of Dhaka, which is famous of Dhaka, yes, it is so much smooth that it can pass through your ring finger also, and it is so much adjusted that you can fold it and keep it in a matchbox also. Moreover, carpet, which you also know galicha, of several regions, knitting work on attires and artistry etc. occupied a prominent place also. So among them, Patola of Patan, Kanjivaram and Banarasi saris. Bandhanis of Rajasthan are unique identity of our India country. Yes. Now during the golden period of Solanki era, Gujarat had progressed in this field. So during the reign of Siddharaj Jai Singh, many artisans, means the weavers, came and settled in Patan. The Patolas of Patan became famous due to their skill. Now what is the importance of this Patolas? Why it is very much famous? Because very first, this art of Patan is more than 850 years old. Only handful of artisans have the skill for such a complicated and time consuming art. Means for making the Patolas cloth, yes, saris, what happened? Years and years are also consumed in it, and it is very much complicated, and only few skillful, handful artisans are engaged in it. Yes. The silkware means the beavered ict producing in Patan is called Patola of Patan. Ict means weaving. This type of sari is designed in such a manner that it can be worn on either side. So what is the speciality of this patola sari? That it can be worn on the both the side. Generally we cannot wear the normal clothes both the side. Yes, we have to wear it on one side only, because another side the print will be very faded one or like that way. But this is only the special feature of the patolas, that this saris is designed in such a manner that it can be worn on either side. This type of patola variety has a good durability and its original color remains intact. So again, one more special feature of this patolas are that it has a very good durability, means years and years pass but the cloth will not get fade, or and its original colors also remain same. There is a saying in the same reference. So there is one saying about the patola that padi patode bhat fate pan fite nahi. Yes, means the color and the print will remain same, though the cloth may get fade, or the cloth may, the design laid in the patola shall never fade even if the cloth may be torn. Now if we come to our next art, that is the art of embroidery. The work of embroidery can be seen on the clothes of the idols and statues whichever found during the excavation of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. Students, you know the embroidery work, yes, you can see here on the screen. The art of weaving on clothes of man and woman, children is very famous from ancient time. So people of our country are very colorful, yes, means the nature is very, you can say, full of the colors, life is full of the spirit. So people used to dress themselves in a very colorful and very cheerful look. So you can see that from ancient time only we are having these things. So art of weaving of cloth of man, woman, children is very famous from ancient time. This art of embroidery was seen on clothes of men, women and children in Sindh. So from ancient time these things were seen. The embroidery was seen where? On the man, woman and children in Sindh, Saurashtra and Kutch region at the time of Indus civilization. Similarly, Kashmiri work of Kashmir is also well known. Apart from embroidery, Bandhani of Jamnagar, Jodhpur, Bhuj and Mandvi of Gujarat are very popular. Yes, students, you are well known of all these things as you are staying in Kutch and you are well known about the traditional work of our region. The traditional style of Bandhani with all its luster and due to the beautiful design of elephant, puppet, dice and picture is very popular today. Cottage industries was taken over by the women of Kutch and Saurashtra region of Gujarat. The tradition arts of embroidery, toran, chakra, pillow, cover, bed sheets, clothes like kedia is well known even today. So you might be seeing that during the, when you go to play the garbas, yes, Navratri, at the time of Navratri, the boys and the girls used to wear the traditional clothes and mostly they will choose this type of clothes which have the embroideries and the traditional touch. Embroidery work is also carried out in a quilt and shawls with the different designs. Embroidery work of Jat community of Bani, an area of Kutch, is unique in itself. next one which we are going to learn is leather industry. So skin of dead animal was used for various purposes in ancient India. After the death of animals, its skin was processed in a traditional manner. Leather was prominently used for making masak, a leather bag for fetching water, and kos. Leather was prominently used for making masak, yes, and a leather bag for fetching water and kos. Again, the drum, dholak, tabla, yes, these are the musical instruments, and the bellows used by blacksmith, and various types of footwears, leather belts to tie animals, etc. So these are the things which are made from the leather, and the leather industry is also developing in its own way. Leather was also used to prepare shield which was used during the war. Leather industry has prominent place in ancient India. So the things which were made from the leather were having the very good durability. Also they were strong also, yes, they used to not get fade in a short time. You can see here on the screen this mojadis, yes, well knitted mojadi of Rajasthan, shoes, leather knitted purse, bells, and other things made out of the leather for horse and camel like saj, palan, lagam, and weave. Yes, these all are the things which were used for make from the leather. Students, now the next one which we are going to study is the diamond bead work and enamel work. So India has 7,517 km long coastline surrounding all three directions, east, west, south. So diamonds and beads are available in plenty. So this is the reason that why we have even developed in this industries also. Yes, things made from diamond beads work are more found in our country. Why? Because our natural boundaries are surrounded by the oceans. On one side you can see all the three sides, east, west, south, are surrounded. So diamonds and beads are available in plenty. Now there has been a wide use of gems and diamonds since ancient times. Since ancient time, trade of diamonds and beads was carried out through sea routes with different countries across the sea. Diamond stud ornaments have been in great demand in foreign countries since long. The famous diamond like Kohinoor and Great Mughal were found in India. As Indians are fond of diamonds and beaded ornaments, varieties is found in great deal. So students, this is a general thing that all men or women or children, yes, they are very much attracted towards the diamonds and beads, and they used to like to dress themselves and look very attractive also by dressing them through this beaded ornaments and diamond studded ornaments. So earlier rich and royal people used to wear diamonds jewelry apart from gold ornaments also. Diamond, rubies, beads, emerald and topaz were used to adorn and beautify the thrones and crowns and jewelries like bracelets, yes, and garland, etc. of king. Bead work is also found prominent in Gujarat. The beautiful bead torans, pachit, pots, bari, chakra. Yes, these are the things by which the homes were decorated in the old time, ancient time, through the beadworks also. These are the very small beads, and through it is an art to make all these things through a beadworks. Decorative coconut used at a time of ceremony, which is also said to be Lagna na Nariyel. Indoni, Modia, animal bag cover, hand fans. Yes, they are also knitted in unique artistic way. Hand fan. India has been leading country in jewellery since time immemorial. India is the only country in the world where expertise can be seen in enamel work apart from the gold and silver work. Enamel work means what, students? It means that artistically skill of inlaying the bright colors like red, green and blue in the gold silver ornaments. Means the ornaments base will be of a silver and a gold, and in that very skillfully, artistically bright colors, yes, bright colors like red, green and these things are being inlaid in that. You can see here on the screen, these are the ornaments having the enamel work. So enamel work means artistic skill of inlaying bright colors, yes, like ring, bangles, earrings, keychains, chain, etc. Experts of enamel work are seen specially in Jaipur, Delhi, Lucknow, Varanasi and Hyderabad. Now the next thing which we are going to study is the Jari work. Jari work is seen in India since ancient time. You can see on the screen, students. Golden and silver threads are woven with clothes, and embroidery is done with gold and silver thread to decorate the cloth. And which is the prominent place of Jari work? It's the Surat. Knitting and embroidering of Jardosi work have a unique beauty. So especially when we are doing some functions or religious or ceremonies are there, then most probably Indian women wear these types of clothes which have the Jari work or these things. Even artisans of Surat could make beautiful dresses like saris, panetar, gharchola, etc. bordered with Jari if needed. Yes, these are the things, panetar and these are the things, gharchola, which are worn during the marriage ceremony of a girl. So the Surat's artisans also make the beautiful things like sari, panetar, gharchola by bordering with Jari. The next thing which we are going to learn is the metal work. Metal work means engraving. Metal work is also a very old form of an art of India. So previously when the Stone Age was there, after that again the things were made from clay, then afterward the metal were found. Yes, Metal Age began and developed after the Stone Age. And the first metal which was found was the copper. The artisans of Lothal made different weapons like sickle, drill and needles with copper and bronze. Moreover, they prepared utensils, idols and pots also. Arms and ammunitions for war were made up of metal. Gold and silver were used for making ornaments. Copper, brass and bronze were used to make utensils, and idols were, whereas iron was used to make instruments and weapons. Students, the next thing which we are going to study is wooden art. Again, naturally the things which we get from the nature is one is the wood, man, trees and forest. Again we all are closely associated with each other. Initially wood was used for fire and later people started making weapons, construction of buildings and other construction work also. Then gradually wood was used for different purpose like making idols, toys, yes, for children, wooden pillars, windows, doors, small huts on the top of terrace, thrones, chairs and grills. In this way wood carving was developed. Wooden furniture like swings and toys of Idar and Sankheda in Gujarat are well known. Students, the next thing which you are going to learn is inlay work. So inlay work is considered to be the very ancient art of India. Indian kings, emperors, rulers, royal people of that time used to wear ornaments as necklace, bracelet, crown, ring, nose ring, damni, etc. These were studied with the precious gems like diamonds, pearls, rubies. Yes, artisans were expert in work of inlay art. Bikaner area of Rajasthan is more popular for inlay ornaments. So students, next we are going to learn is the akik work. Akik is a kind of precious stone especially found in the valley areas of river. Mostly they are of transparent color and it is chiefly chalcedonic mixed with silica blue or white stone. Carolene is a main stone with semi-transparent quality and beautiful red in color. In Gujarat, various precious stones are available in big and small size at Ahmedabad, Ranpur and Surat. All these stones are sent to Khambat to mold into various beautiful ornaments with various designs. Beads and garlands of stones are prepared by them. And the next one which we are going to learn is about painting. So painting is considered to be the very foremost one in the world of art. As we have seen that the people have started doing this thing very first. Yes, this art was developed first in the human civilization. Painting is an art which expresses through lines and colors. Means that through painting you can show the emotions, feelings, yes, through the colors, through the sketches, through the lines. And the aim of this art is to express emotions by imitating the animate and inanimate object of natural through lines and colors. We have evidence of Indian art of painting from remains of 5000 years old Harappan culture. Various models of painting have been found out many times by archaeological department during excavation work. We have traced the picture of animals and birds in the cave painting of primitive men of Stone Age at Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh. So people used to draw geometrical designs and sketches. Elephants, rhinoceros, deers are notable among them. Ajanta Ellora are incomplete specimens of such paintings. Drawing the sketches of swastik, picture, Ganesha at the time of festival and celebration is an old tradition of India. Drawing, Rangoli making is also very old tradition in some of the region of India. Yes, so during Diwali time, we all decorate our house by making in the courtyard a Rangoli, very colorful and attractive one, so that the positive vibrations comes in our home. Okay students, so our next topic which we are going to cover is Fine Arts of India. In this you are going to learn about the music in the ancient time. So very first, singing, playing, dancing. yes, and performing roles of different characters. These are the unique features of our Indian cultures. So students, you will also have took the part in the various activities during your school time in cultural program, assembly and all. So entertainment with moral education has been imparted since ancient time through dramas based on greatest scriptures like Ramayana and Mahabharata. So to convey the social message to the society and give the moral education, these dramas based greatest scriptures like Ramayana and Mahabharata have been performed. Now the topic which we are going to study in detail is the music. So Indian music is unique from the point of view of tune, rhythm and harmony, and so it is different from the music of other countries of the world. Sam Veda, one out of the 4 Veda, is considered to be associated with music. Richas of Samvedas are sung with tune and rhythm of music. Music involves both singing and playing. So there are the 7 vowels of music: sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, and these are considered to be the 7 vowels of music. If we divide the music, it can be classified into classical music and folk music. And 5 main ragas in classical music are Shri, Deepak, Hindol, Megh and Bhairavi. So it is said also that when the songs were sung in this tune, these ragas, it happened that Deepak Raga, for example, we take Deepak Raga. When these songs were sung in this raga, the diyas used to enlighten by themselves. Yes, that is the power of the ragas. If we say Megh Raga, then when this was sung, the rain used to come. So each raga has its own importance, and it is believed that all these ragas naturally came out of the Panchmukhi of Lord Shiva. In ancient India, many texts were written on music, out of which the introduction of 3, Sangeet Makaran, Sangeet Ratnakala and Sangeet Parijat. We will study in detail about all the 3. Very first we will study about the Sangeet Makaran. A music scholar, Narad, who had written Sangeet Makaran in about 900 BC. It describes 19 venas and 101 rhythm which are useful even today. So students, we will study in detail about Sangeet Makaran. A music scholar, Narad, who had written Sangeet Makaran in about 900 BC, it describes 19 venas and 101 rhythm which are even useful today also. The writer of this text was Pandit Sarangdev. He lived in Daulatabad, so he was familiar with South North Indian music. Pandit Vishnu Narayan Bhatkhande considers Sangeet Ratnakar as the most authentic book on music. So students, if those all are interested in the music and singing and all this, so these books are very useful to you all. Go through it once. Sangeet Ratnakar is believed to be unique in understanding all aspects of music. The next is Sangeet Parijat. Sangeet Parijat is very important book on music. Pandit Ahobale had written this text in 1665 on northern Hindustani music. He had noted one important characteristic feature of all the ragas, saying that ragas have their own individual identity and characteristics. He has described 29 types of tunes. During the time of Alauddin Khilji, talented Amir Khusro was very famous. Due to his contribution in the field of music and poetry, he was known as Tutiye Hind, means Parrot of India in Indian history. Bhakti movement started in India in 15th and 16th century, and Bhakti Sangeet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Kabir, Tulsidas, Mirabai and Narsi Mehta was very famous. So students, we have heard also about this famous, our popular devotees, when they used to remember the God, when they used to memorize the God in the way of music and singing, the God used to come and give them the disciple of Swami Haridas, Beju Bawra, Tansen and duet girls Tana Riri are considered as rare jewel of music of 15th century. Students, now the next topic which we are going to study is on art of dance, in which you will study in detail about Bharatnatyam, Kuchipudi, Kathakali and Kathak dance. The word Nritya has been derived from the original Sanskrit word Nrit. Dance is one of the mediums of realizing beauty with tal and lay for the realization of aesthetic joy. Shiva, the originator of dance, is the lord of dance. Shiva is therefore also said to be Nataraj. So you must have seen, students, that the statue of Nataraj, Lord Shiva, is always kept in the music academy also, and they are worshipped on every year. He was the first to bring down music from the heaven to the earth to teach this art of dance to the people. Indian classical dances like Bharatnatyam, Kuchipudi, Kathak and Kathakali and Odissi, Manipuri, yes, these were the names of, and we are going to study in detail about all this dance, art of dance. Very first is the Bharatnatyam. The origin of Bharatnatyam is believed to be Tanjore, a district of Tamil Nadu. There are two books, Natya Shastra by Bharat Muni and Abhinav Darpan by Nandikeshwar, which are original sources of Bharatnatyam. Apart from Gopi Krishna and Mrinali Sarabhai, the actresses like Vaijayanti Mala and Hema Malini, etc. are considered to be the preservers of this heritage. Next is Kuchipudi. This style of dance was created in 15th century. It is mostly based on the descriptions of woman's beauty. Different poses and gestures performed by male and female dancers are woven in the foundation of this dance. Kuchipudi is famous in Andhra Pradesh. Guru Prahlad Sharma, Raja Reddy, Shobha Naidu are the well-known dancers who have preserved these ancient traditions. The next is Kathakali. This style of dance is very famous in Kerala. The word Kathakali has been derived from the drama based on ancient epics Ramayana and Mahabharata and mixed dramas of Sanskrit and Malayalam. The character of this art were beautiful plated attires, we have to read their facial expressions to recognize the characteristic of the character. The crown they put on it is very artistic. The character perform his or her dance with facial expression and poses of hands to introduce the character of Trilok. They come in front of the curtain with the light of earthen lamp only. Poet of Kerala Sri Vallabh founded Kalamanda Kathakali, Kalamandalam, Krishna Prasad and Shivaraman etc. have earned great fame in the nation and worldwide. The next which we are going to learn is Kathak dance. The line Kathan kare so Kathak kahave. Yes, this is the line related to Kathak dance. Kathak dance narrates the life events and incidents of Lord Krishna. It is observed that it has developed with Shringar Bhakti of Vaishnav community. In this style of dance, dancers turns around on one leg and shows reference of dance. Women wear narrow trousers and frilled frock, that is attire. Pandit Shri Birju Maharaj, Sitara Devi, Kumindini Lakya, Students, now next which we are going to study is Manipuri dance. This dance style is chiefly based on Ras Leelas and Bal Leela of Shri Krishna. Manipuri dance can be divided in Lasya and Tandav. The plaited green colored petticoat is known as kumin, and at the same time silk bulbs and belt are put on around the wrist, around the waist. Guru Amobi Singh, Atomobo Singh, Guru Bipin Sinha, Naina Zaveri, Nirmala Mehta have gained worldwide fame in this dance art. Students, now next which we are going to study is the dramatic art. Presenting sanskaras with entertainment is the unique feature of Indian dramatic arts. Apart from this anchor and funny pair of clowns, entertainment audience, Natya Shastra by Bharat Muni is well known in the field of art. Dramatic art, writing of drama and performance of drama, along with the audio-visual aids, this trio holds the capacity to entertain the people of all age. Dramatic art is an amalgamation of all the arts. Describing it, Bharat Muni says, there is no book, there is no sculpture, there is no knowledge, there is no deed, which is lacking in dramatic art. So, dramatic art covers all these things. The first drama of Bharat Muni was Devasur Sangram. In Sanskrit literature, we have various well-renowned dramatists. Bhas is the poet of poets among them. He has bequeathed us dramas like Karnabhar, Urubanga, based on Mahabharata. Whereas Kalidas, the foremost poet, gifted us plays like Abhiyan Shakuntalam, Vikramoshyam and Malvikagni Mitram. Apart from the above, many dramatists came and enriched the dramatic art of Sanskrit literature. The name of Jaishankar Sundari is foremost in the dramatic art of Gujarat. Amrut Nayak, Bapulal Nayak, Deena Pathak, Jashwant Thakur, Upendra Trivedi, Deepak Ghiwala are all the people who have given their contribution in the field of art. There is a greater contribution of regional and other drama institutions in this field. Now very first, if we take in dramatic art, Bhavai, the first dramatic art which we are going to study in the detail is Bhavai. Script writers have said that Bhavai is emotions oriented drama. It is specially dramatic art that started 700 years ago by Asad Thakur. This art, which has been providing public education along with entertainment at the economical rates, promotes during Solanki era. This art, which has been providing, it was chiefly performed without curtains, with light plumes and with the music playing on trumpet. Characters disguised in the form of Ramdev, Jhanda, Jhalan, Kajoda, etc. are the main features of Bhavai. Theme of Bhavai includes protest against social vices. So through Bhavai, social messages are given to the people. The characters like Rangla, Rangli are used to promote the program like girl education, save the girl child, etc. Those who perform this Bhavai play trumpet and play and pray to the goddess by reciting hymns. Now student, the next topic which we are going to cover is folk dances of Gujarat. Yes, as we are in Gujarat state, we should be aware of the things in our state. So there are varied dance forms belonging to different communities of Gujarat. These dance forms are according to the traditions and customs. So as we all know that during Navratri time we all go to play Garba. Yes, so there are tribal and folk dances, Garba, Ras. Such art of dance can be seen at the time of festival, marriage and fair. The first dance which we are going to study in detail is tribal dance. Tribal dance of Gujarat is seen at time of festivals, marriages, fairs and to please the goddesses. Most of the dances are performed by forming a circle along with various traditional musical instruments like drum, traditional manjira, dholak with songs in the regional language. In the dance form known as Chado, characters imitate different kinds of bird creature like peacock, squirrel and sparrow. Dance like Malino Chalo and Thakriya Chalo are seen in Dam, whereas Tippani dance of labourers, that is Shramhari, performed by Bhil and Koli communities. Dancers perform dance in group on the set of thick stick which are joined with a small stick stuck on the ground. The next is Garba. The word Garba is derived from the word Garbdi. Earthen lamp is placed in the whole earthen pot. Dancers keep on their head and move around in a circle. Garbas are performed during Navratri festival in Hindu month Aso Sud Ekam to Aso Sud Navami, on somewhere up to Dasham or on Sharad Punam in all parts of Gujarat. Gujarati people performs and sing Garba to worship and pray Adya Shakti, that is goddess of power, Mother Jagdamba. Generally it is performed in the open ground encircling into the mandvi kept in the center of the ground along with the strokes of hands and beats of drums. Gujarati poetry known as Garba and Garbi are chiefly associated with Krishna Bhakti. Gujarati poet Dayaram wrote poem in Gujarati which made ladies sing the colorful and emotional Garbi of Lord Krishna's love. The next is the Rasa. Rasa is a dance to be performed in circle along with singing. There is a story that Lord Krishna had shown Rasa Leela in devotee Narsi Mehta. So, Narsi Mehta was the great devotee of Lord Krishna, and it is said that Lord Krishna had shown Ras Leela to his devotee Narsi Mehta. Rasa is mostly performed in Gujarat during Navratri and Janmashtami festival. Dandiya Ras is one of its type, but some people perform Rasa by placing earthen pots on the head. Due to increasing influence of Vaishnava sect, Rasa has become more popular. Women wear traditional dresses like embroidered chanya choli, and men wear embroidered kadiya dhoti when they perform Ras. Students, we will study about the other dances of Gujarat. Very first is the Gof Gunthan dance. It is performed on drum beats and tal and lay of music, tying rope with mandapa, pillar, tree and holding the other hand in the hand. Students, you can see your live. They perform dance in group holding the rope in one hand and dandiya in other. They make creepers like formation, one going inside, other coming outside, and this is repeatedly done forming a circle. This way they make and open the gunthan that is played. This style of dance is called Gof Gunthan dance. Students, the next dance is Dhamal dance of Siddhis. Siddhis presently residing in Jambur village in the center of Gir, originally belonged to Africa, perform this dance. They perform dance by rhythmically striking mashira, that is coconut shell containing earthen lamp inside, covered with a cloth, and wearing peacock feathers and holding small drums in the hands forming a circle. They dance with a high and low pitch intonation of ho ho sound which echoes in the whole forest. Students, this dance is live on the stage, but the people do this dance in the forest, so it is said that echoes in the forest. They dance in a group imitating the voice of animals and birds. The next is Merayo dance, Paddhar dance and Koli and Mer dance. This type of dance is seen near the stepwell of Banaskantha region. Toran is woven with the tall grass of reed and junjadi. Students, you can see a live dance. It's the real one. This dance is performed on drum beats and sword tricks. This type of dance is called Merayo dance. In Surendranagar region, the people of Paddhar community dance with tal and lay of dandiya and manjira. While dancing, they generate scenes like sea waves or like a ship moving on the sea waves. Kolis of Saurashtra performs Koli dance holding Madraso on the head and headgear decorated with embroidery and mirrors tied with green colored embroideries. They wear bait on their waist to perform dance. Similarly, Mer dance of Saurashtra and other dances of Bharwat tribes are well known. As we discussed in the previous chapter, here also we find the Indian culture is a universal assimilating all. As a result of arrival of various tribes since ancient time to contemporary one, many changes occurred like growth and development of handicraft, home artistry, painting, dancing and various other fine arts. This shows the permanent impression of India's heritage of India, and it leaves permanent impression of India on the horizon of the world. So students, we end up our chapter here and hope you have understood it with a live performance and the very attractive and charming colorful pictures. Yes, so do study in a well planned timetable. Thank you and have a nice day.